Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Invictus Racing League Tier 3 around the Austrian Grand Prix. It's me, Champstein, again, and I'm joined with Ewan. How are you today, Ewan?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Today we are doing, as you might see on the screen, a one-shot qualifying. So it's going to be a sprint race tonight. We will be doing one-shot qualifying followed by a 25% sprint race, or it might be 33%. I can't remember. It's 12 laps, and then a 36-lap feature race. The grid on the sprint race will be determined by the one-shot qualifying, and then the grid on the main race will be obviously determined by that sprint. So we'll be hoping for some good finishes today as we start off the one-shot qualifying with some very wet weather.
It's raining in one-shot qualifying. Oh dear.
It is absolutely hammering it down by the looks of it. The floor looks absolutely soaked. Not conditions I want to be racing in, that's for sure.
We've had one kicked out, but hopefully he will rejoin.
Yes, I did see. I think from this week, if we have the host disconnect at the beginning of a race, we will do a restart just because it's caused some issues in other races.
Yeah.
Because the lobby likes to play up if the host leaves, so we'll just keep an eye for that one. I think JPH is the host, so as long as he doesn't leave, we're good.
Awesome.
Obviously, with one-shot quali, that means that if you invalidate your only lap as Suspect joins, then you will start at the back of the grid. If more than one get disqualified, I honestly do not know how that works. I think it might be whoever got the furthest in the track will start further ahead, if that makes sense. But I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to wait and see. The drivers will just be picking their setups, and thankfully no one has readied up early. That's always good, because then you get 30 seconds to decide your setup.
If anyone readies up early, they might get a boot up the arse as well.
Yeah, I think it's 5 seconds for your first 5-second penalty for your first warning, or it might be a reprimand, but it escalates very quickly if you keep doing it. So you learn once you've done it. That's for sure. I've been there. Yeah. It's usually the new people who make that mistake. So we're just waiting for the drivers to pick their setups and get themselves onto the racetrack. If you don't know much about one-shot qualifying, all 20 drivers will go around the track at the exact same time. We will not be able to see all 20 on track, just the one that we are focusing on. We will be riding on board with Jack tonight as he picked up pole in the previous session, so we thought that was the fairest way to do it. With all 20 not showing on track, that means the same for them, so they won't have other people in their way when they're setting their qualifying, so we don't need to worry anything about that, which is good.
Only the Haasers are missing their one driver, Joel.
Yeah, just the one no-show tonight. One of the Haasers, unfortunately, Jorel. I don't know if he overslept or missed the alarm. I don't know. Right, this should be let's head into track. Here we go. Oh, it just chucks us straight in. Jesus. All on inters. No surprise there. It looks like he's absolutely hammering it down. Let's go on board. Oh, it does it really weirdly. Jack, here we go. Right, let's see how Jack's going to take it. He's in 9th. The timings on the left are live, so the position they're showing is where they are. A nice break into turn 3, not turn 2 for some reason. Who knows? Oh, a little bit of rear spin from Jack. That drops him down a little bit into 10th position. 11th now, but there's plenty of the lap to go. Just a 10 corner lap around Austria. I think it's just over 4 kilometers. A nice quick one, as he's getting a lot of oversteer here. No one's invalidated just yet, as far as I can tell. But Jack is down into 12th place. Let's keep an eye on someone a bit higher up. Let's go with that. So he's currently in 2nd place. As you can see, he's a lot further forward on the track. Down into 4th. That's fine. Just 2 corners left to go. You've got to take it nice and steady through there, especially in the wet. And he does so, navigates those ones nicely. No rear spin, and that will put him in 4th place by the looks of it. 5th place even. So we have Nitrogash in first with a 1:13.6. A brilliant time through there. I don't really know what's an amazing time. Do you have any idea in the wet?
113.
113. It does look like a 113 is a good time. Seems very strange at one shot qualifying. Right, so we have starting on the front row, we have Nitrogash and Trems. Shortly behind him is JP and Daryl Whiffen. So starting in P5 with Joseph Groomer in P6. Bontobi in P7 looking for the points finish again with Bruce Lee in 8th. Mikey is in 9th with Kerr just behind him in 10th. On the 5th line of the grid, we have Sam Flan. Behind him is Sir Spud. Charles John will be in 13th with Tinnis just behind him in P14. Jack will be in P15 with Officer just behind him. And just the one disqualification in P17, LDR Gamer. And Sab and JP, I have no idea what happened to them. We will have to find out later. Any idea? Did he crash?
LDR got an invalidation.
So if there's no time they crashed, and if they got the DSQ, I assume they extended track limits.
So what order will it be then, do you think? Will the DSQ go last?
I think it'll be in the order it showed there, so the DSQ will be ahead of the two that crashed, because at least you finished the lap. I would assume. I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to wait and see. I think it'll say actually if I go to the race director. Never mind, it closes out. Right, there we go. Yeah, the DSQ is ahead of the two that crashed. I suppose that makes sense. I had someone say it was going to be a wet start to the race, but it looks very dry to me.
Yeah.
Race starting wet, sunny after 30 minutes. Maybe that's the feature race, not the sprint. I don't know. Have to wait and see. The weather people are just never right, let's be honest. 1 minute it says it's nice and sunny, and then the next minute it's hammering it down.
As we saw last week.
Yes, and then the track decides at one random point to just get soaking wet out of nowhere. That was really bizarre last week. I think it definitely caught a few people off guard. So drivers will be setting their race strategy for the sprint race. If you're racing tonight, what would you be running? What tyres would you be running for the sprint?
Softs, I think.
Softs, you reckon they can go all 12 laps?
Yeah, because there's not too many corners, so you shouldn't have to get the tyre temperatures up through the braking, wearing them out. So
yeah, I think I'd agree with you. I think those softs will last 12 laps around here. Tyre deck not too bad, maybe a little bit in sector 2. Those two fast left-handers, they can rip your tyres a little bit, but I think they'd last the 12 laps, especially if we get a safety car, which we will be hoping for a bit of a reduction in this week, that's for sure. Yes, tyre wear does scale with race distance, Martin. Yeah, it does. Wait, no, it doesn't. Actually, I don't know. No, it doesn't. It will be the same as a 50% race in the sprint. So those softs should go around about those 12 laps. Otherwise, they'd have to pit during the sprint, and that would be a little bit silly. So tyre does not scale with lap distance. Well, it scales with the lap distance of the feature race. It's not going to let me pick. There's 5 lights and we are away. No formation lap tonight. Nitrogash gets a lovely start. He's pulling a lead already. JPH just behind him. They're keeping it nice and tidy through there. One little corner cut from Dal Whiffen, but we will ignore that as a Red Bull goes wide in the background. But a lovely start for Nitrogash. He has pulled a little bit of a lead already. JPH will be looking to not let that one rest too much. We've had no collisions so far and a good start to the race. Sorry about that. I did not expect it to just jump us straight in. They didn't put us on the grid or anything. So a brilliant start from Nitrogash, who's had the best starts. LDR Gamer up into P7, starting P17. A brilliant start from him. No spinners, no crashes just yet, and no safety car, touch wood, in the first lap. But there is always time. There is always time. Yeah, I think those softs, Martin, are the way to go. I do think so. I didn't even let's have a look what people are running. Actually, it didn't give us a chance to tell. We've got one person, Sab, down in P14 on the softs, but the rest are playing it safe on the mediums. Mediums will be faster over 9 laps, says Reshka, which I do agree. I think I said before the race started, didn't I? Ewan, that we reckon about 9 laps on the softs, and then the mediums will take over. But those positions made should give you the advantage, I think, because you won't have time to chase each other down. But a nice, tidy start so far.
Yeah, the predicted pit stop strategy did say 0 stops on just the medium and hards. The game doesn't think that you can keep soft for the whole race.
Oh, really? It's saying no softs at all. Interesting. We have seen that our drivers have a knack for looking after the tyres, so I think Sab will be just okay on those softs. The Red Bull is seeming to back a few people up here. Bon Toby in P6. As the front few are starting to break away. P1 to P3 as we have a spin on track. That is a Ferrari of Atsu, who we were on board with for the one-shot quali, and also a second spin from LDR Gamer, who had such a brilliant start. Unfortunate for the pair of them, but we will keep our eyes at the front with just a gap of 4 tenths. Darrell Whiffen with the fastest lap, looking to creep up on these two, not letting them drive away too far as they are all on those medium tyres. No tyre advantage around here as LDR Gamer must have picked up some damage. He has gone into the pits. So Spud losing another position down into P15 as there's a big divide through the front 5 here. I don't know if that has anything to do with the contact. Did you see what happened? Was it just some spins or was there a bit of contact back there?
I didn't see. I was just scrolling through and I saw one in the wall.
Oh, that was close. JPH looking to make a move, but Darrow's going to die out the inside of JPH as we ride on board. He's going to have the inside line, but as we approach turn 6, JPH will have the inside. Let's hope they keep it nice and tidy through there as they do go side by side. This is some brave racing from the pair of them, but giving each other room, making it nice and fair, and it looks like Darrell will take that second position away from JPH. I think Darrell is hot on the heels of Nitrogash. He wants that race winning the sprint as we do have another spin at the back. That looks like Tinner's Optionale to me at the back. Unfortunately, he is keeping the car rolling. Thank God, no DNFs just yet. But let's keep our eyes on Darrell Whiffen. First lap of the DRS up to turn 2. If you can call it a turn. I suppose it is just about, but he is going to be ahead, I think, by the time they reach the braking zone of turn 3. A lovely move from Darrell for the current P1, but Nitrogash will not let that one slip away too easily. And as I say that, he gets poor traction off that corner, and JPH will capitalise into P2. Everything is happening in the top 3 at the moment, Ewan.
Yeah, let's not jinx it.
Let's not jinx it, indeed.
I've stopped spectating Darrell now. Don't want any excuses.
Darrell is in the lead. It looks like Nitrogash is already struggling as Bruce Lee is closing that gap very quickly. And he's lost 2 positions in just the 1 lap. He will be hoping he doesn't fall back too far. I wonder if in the one-shot qualifying, although he took pole, he was maybe pushing a little bit harder than the rest. We have LDR Gamer on the softs at the back. He'll be hoping for a safety car. Lap 5 then, what's it going to show? I think Bruce Lee will be looking for a move, although he looks like he's already used all his ERS. Very interesting decision from him. He will be looking for a move into turn 3, just like Darrell did. Let's see if he can make it. See if he can make it work to the outside. A heavy braking zone. Hopefully no collisions up here. It looks like Bruce Lee's just ahead, but Nitro's gonna get the traction, or is he around the outside? That looks like where the traction is, and he will make the move up into the podium positions.
A great move from Rico there on Mikey. He's using the braking zone wisely. He's taken the inside line, found a gap, and he's gone through it.
Lovely work from him. Lovely work. A few positions being made here and there, but it looks like Nitrogash is the one struggling still. He is slowly falling down the field. Let's keep an eye on Kerr. He looks like he's willing to capitalise on the move that Officer had just made on Mikey. Let's stay on board with him for now. The top 3 look like they're going to stay as they are. Bruce Lee's just a second away. And Nitrogash is slowly falling behind, although it does look like Trems is interested in making a move. So we'll go back to him, actually. Into turn 1, is he going to think about it? No, keep the inside. That would be a risky move down the inside. He's just going to take the DRS. Nitrogash is just in it, so he might not have that speed advantage. As we see a 3-second penalty for Jack, who was the guy we rode on board with at the beginning of one-shot quali, but he is currently struggling down in P14. Even into Keza. How are you, my friend? 4/10 is the gap between Trems and Nitro Gash. Nitro obviously starting on pole if you're just tuning in, but slowly sliding down the order. But hopefully he will be able to keep it in the top 4 and get some points. The point system tonight, top 5 will score points, with first place being 5 points, second place being 4, third place being 3, fourth place being 2, and fifth place picking up the 1 point, with no points on offer for the fastest lap, so that one doesn't matter tonight.
JPH now with the DRS looking to make a move on the start-finish straight. As he did look to go down the inside, but couldn't. As Darrell did manage to keep his line very well.
He's going to be hunting the overtake here, though. He's going to have that DRS, the wing wide open as he sails to the outside. Darrell placing the car in the middle of the track, being nice and defensive, both giving each other plenty of room. But will JPH get the traction out of the corner as he is on the outside line? That seems to be the quicker line tonight around the outside, and it looks like he will make that move up into P2. A lovely move from JPH, keeping it nice and tidy under braking and slotting the car around the outside of Darrell. He'll be as he takes P1 for the first time tonight. Let's see if Darrell can hunt him back down. A lovely move. Trems is still behind Nitro. He wasn't able to make that move. Bit of a DRS train, I think. Foreman behind the front too. So that's always an interesting one to be a part of. But let's keep an eye on Darrell. He's going to be wanting that position back after that overtake. He's got the ERS to play with, although so does JPH. Just the DRS. He's very late on the brakes into turn 1, but it looks like a good exit as they go up the hill into turn 2. He's going to go to the inside. It looks like he's going to go down the inside of JPH. Meanwhile, letting the cars behind catch up on the brakes, but that outside line, it just looks so much quicker tonight. And JPH will defend that position. I think if you're going to make a move into turn 3, Ewan, that the outside line is the key place to be.
Yeah, I think especially if you're going to look to make it on the out. But I did see one earlier that went down the inside and he managed to pull away. I think it could be a use of ERS, you know, who knows.
Possibly the traction is the key, as we do have a spin at the back. It is Jack, whose day has gone from bad to worse as he's down into P17. Looks like there was maybe 2 of them involved actually. Sabin with those soft tyres, and Jack, like I said, as he's just struggling to get their car going again. But they are back.
Trem made a good move there on Nitro Gash going down the inside. It was well fought.
He's made the move. Nitro Gash slipping back a little bit further, and Joseph Green will be looking to capitalise on that one as he gets a poor exit onto the straight. Just 3 tenths behind. He'll have that rear wing wide open, as will Nitro Gash, but he looks like he has a low front wing as he goes sailing around the outside. And down into the braking zone he is comfortably ahead. That is another position for the rest of the grid. And another position lost for Nitro Gash, unfortunately, as he falls down to P6 now in just the 9 laps, starting on pole. There's 2 side by side, keeping it nice and tidy through there. Darrell's looking for a move on JPH. Bruce Lee's having a sniff as they battle with each other. The 2 Aston Martins are looking to almost bully the car out there, the Williams of Darrell Whiffen, as Bruce Lee is just a 10th behind. We're looking to put the pressure on him. This is very close between the front 4, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the battle, I think the defending of JPH and Darrell when he was in first has managed to let the pack close up towards the top.
Yeah, all the way down from 1st to 7th, they are all within DRS of each other, so a big DRS train will be on the cards here. Darrell Whiffen's going to be looking for another move as Bruce Lee picks up a 3-second penalty. That's going to be vital come the end of the race. That currently looks like it would drop him down to P7. Not what the Aston will be wanting, but the move can't be made by Darrell as JPH goes a little bit sideways out the exit, and that's going to give the chance to Darrell to jump around the outside, and that will be P1 for Darrell for now. A little mistake from JPH, and it all changes that quickly. Darrell will take the lead for now. Let's go on board with somebody else. We all know what happens when we stay on board with Darrell Whiffen. A lovely move, though. Opportunistic move, to say the least. Do you think those mediums are going to be struggling for a bit of grip now, come to lap of 10?
I don't I'd like to say I don't think so.
And as I say that, a spin from JPH, whether that is to do with the tyres or not, he struggled out of turn 3, but that is going to relegate him all the way down to P14, which is not the start the Astons wanted when they were holding 1 and 2 at one point. A disaster for the Aston Martins with a 3-second penalty on Bruce Lee, as well as JPH does go around again. We will save him the embarrassment and go on board with somebody else. We all know what it's like when those tyres get very hot. ERS management here for the last couple of laps. I think that's going to be key.
Bruce does go wide into turn 2, allowing Trems to go through.
I did see that out the back of the screen. He went on the grass a little bit, didn't he? I think.
Yes.
So we have another spin out of turn 3. That is Mikey RK13. It looks like they're struggling for grip out there in turn 3. Down in the traction zone, Sab sets the fastest lap on those new soft tyres. No point for the fastest lap tonight. No point for the fastest lap in the sprint race, should I say, tonight. So challenger number 3 on the back of Darrell is Trems J. JPH has tried it, Bruce Lee has tried it, but none of them have managed to get past. Let's see how Trems can navigate turns 1, 2 and 3. He's not got any ERS to work with, but I don't think Darrell has any either, as we have another spin in the middle of the track. This long run up to turn 3 feels like forever when you're in that car. It looks like he's got a little bit of speed over Darrell as he's going to look to go to the inside. Can he get the car stopped in time? He can, but Darrell keeps it on the outside, and it looks like that grip around the outside again is just so much more powerful. And Darrell will hold on to that first place. Just a few more corners left to go to the sprint race, and I think what you see is usually what you'll get around here. Turn 3 is usually the one place you can make a move, as we have Tinnis in the background spinning again, unfortunately. The energy is run dry for the good drivers at the front, and I don't think any more moves will be made around here unless we have a mistake. As we see a few penalties in the midfield. Jack picking up 3 seconds. I think that might be a second penalty even. Did he pick up 3 in the first couple of laps, I think?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
We'll have to wait and see. So that puts Darrell on pole for the feature race around the Austrian Grand Prix. Bruce Lee, only thankfully for him, gets relegated down to P6. We have another mistake in the middle of the track. That looks like the Red Bull again of Tinnis Optioneel, as they are struggling for grip on those 12-lap old tyres. I would have thought 12 laps, those mediums would still be in good shape, but both the soft runners definitely seem to have struggled tonight in that sprint race, as we wait for the last few drivers to cross over the line now. JPH down in P14, which will be disappointed after that brilliant race start. He was in the lead at one point, as we have a couple more crossing the line now. LDR Gamer and Sab, and then we have Jack bringing up the rear in P19.
So, dare I ask, who's going to be your top? What's your prediction for top 3?
Top 3, I think. Oh, it's going to be a difficult one. I think I'm gonna be brave. I'm gonna go with Darrell within it at P2 though. I think Bruce is gonna have something to prove after that start, so I'm gonna go for him P1, and Kerr, I think, on the podium in P3 would be my guess. What about yourself?
I think Nitro Gash will come 3rd. I'm gonna back Darrell. They are famous last words. I said that in week 2, and what happened in Azerbaijan happened in Baku.
We won't talk about that.
No. But
So,
I think it'll go Darrell, Trems and Nitro.
Darrell, Trems, Nitro. Fair shout, I think. So the grid for the feature race will be Darrell Whiffen on pole, with Trems just behind. A brilliant race for him in the sprint, as we have a pouring race to start with. The weatherman obviously was correct about the feature race. In 4th, we'll have Nitro Gash. He will not be too sad about that after he started in 1st in the sprint race and lost a few positions. Bontobi in P5 easily picks up the first point of the evening. Bruce Lee falling out the points down into P6 with that 3-second penalty. Unfortunate for him. Officer Red will be just behind him in P7 with the AlphaTauri of Kerr in P8. Sam Flan in the Alpine in P9 with JP9119 in the McLaren. He will be in P10. We have Atsu in P11 after a spin at the beginning of the race, and Sir Spud in P12. Mikey will be starting P13 with JPH, who after that mistake is starting all the way down in P14, even though he was really in the race at some point in the sprint. Charles John in P15, LDR Gamer in P16 with the rear of Sab, Tinus and Jack. A few mistakes in the sprint race, but no safety car just yet.
I have a question for you while we wait.
Go ahead.
Who do you think is going to be the constructors' champions in like proper F1?
In proper F1, I'm a big fan of Red Bull. I hope Martin's not watching. He hates them. He's a big fan of Merc. I think after the first race, Red Bull are my favourites. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think Aston Martin might do well though.
Yeah, you think? I hope for their sake, after the history around Racing Point, that they have not copied someone's car too much. I have no idea. I've not heard any allegations just yet, but I hope they've just genuinely bought a nice race package. And it'll be down to if Lance Stroll can keep himself up near the top of the field. He performed all right last night, though. Yeah, last night, even though he had those broken wrists. So I've got my hopes for him.
Yeah.
He is, as we quote Alonso, World Drivers' Championship material, so time will tell. So a wet race around Austria. I'm hearing that possibly about 30% into the race we'll see the weather shift to dry. What would you start on if you were racing tonight?
I'd say the intermediates.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite wet enough for those wets, and they'll be looking to take them, I think, until it dries. I can't remember exactly how many laps the inters will do, but I think we'll be seeing people holding on to them until the track starts to dry. It'll be who is bravest changing to those softs or mediums, depending on how far through the race we are. Martin says Lance is low-key underrated. So here we have it. We have 3, 4, 5 red lights, and they are away. Darrell Whiffen gets a good start off the line as he keeps his P1. Trems has fallen down the field drastically as he's down into P5, P6 even. But he does have the inside line. Bruce Lee is going to make that move into P5. A good start for the front runners. No mistakes so far. As I just get my let's just get everything ready. We have everyone on the wets, so obviously it is that wet out there. It does look very wet actually on track, but we couldn't see that from inside the pits. Wet tyres, how do you feel on wet tyres?
Dry. No, I'm kidding.
The wets, they are a tricky one to master. Oh, we have someone wide. Sorry to interrupt you. Trems has gone wide through turn 4. He's going to lose a host more positions down into P8 as he goes side by side with JPH, who's had a brilliant start after starting in P14. As they're very close to each other, going side by side through the next series of corners, but Trems will keep that position of JPH. As I say that, Trems does go around, and he has kept it out of the wall, but that is not the start that Trems will be hoping for, I'm afraid. Sorry to interrupt you there, Ewan.
No, it's fine.
Disaster ensued as
we... Oh, he's spun again.
Oh, disaster for Trems as he's at the back of the field. He's going to be hoping for a safety car or two tonight, I think. All the while... Yeah, I think so. He's going to... unless he can catch up, but all the while, Nitro Gash is loving life. Up into P3. As Martin said, if the track has water on it, the track is... I'm sure you can guess, you, and the track is wet. Whose famous words would that be, do you think? Have you watched Drive to Survive?
Yeah, I didn't watch all of it.
You didn't watch all of it. The man, the myth, the legend, if you can call him that, Will Buxton. I think he's quoting there. Who famously said, "You want to be on pole because all the rest of the cars are behind you when you start in first." Who knows what he's what he's talking about. It looks like JP is struggling with these conditions. He has said he doesn't like the wet, but that is our first retirement as I open my mouth. LDR is in the right-hand wall. A virtual safety car for now. I'm guessing he's not parked across the track. Let's see if we can see from Trem's point of view. Oh, he's just on the outside there. I wonder if that was some contact with another driver, because that is a very strange place to crash. Maybe a loss of traction out the corner, but you don't really tend to see people on that inside wall very often, as they do get that car cleared up nicely. No safety car just yet. Just a VSC, and it looks like it will stay that way. Much to Daryl's joy, as he is over a second ahead of those drivers. Not that the DRS will be open just yet, as obviously in the wet there is no DRS. So the who's moved the most so far? We have JP, who I was saying was struggling on those wet tyres as he was about to lose a position, but he's actually gained 4 himself as he goes up into P6 starting in P10. JPH, who's gone up into P7 now, as there is a bit of a kerfuffle at the race restart, and that looks like a drive-through, unfortunately for Atsu, as his evening is just getting worse and worse. He positions now though for JPH, as he has JP9 pushing him through the corner, as he will be looking to regain that position. Is JP9.
Is there overtaking over the VSC or not?
No, under any yellow flag conditions or VSC, no overtaking. But I think some drivers were struggling with Delta as the race restarted, and if you're keeping a good eye on a Delta, you can make a sneaky position on the race restart. So we are on board with Nitrogrash. Daryl is keeping the pace going. Oh, as I say that, several taking the fastest lap. That will be due to the VSC, of course, because they will have started earlier in the lap. On the restart, we have JPH with the fastest lap for now, up into P6. That's 8 positions. A lovely start from him. He'll be looking to make amends for that the mistaken sprint, but he doesn't want to wear through those tyres too much just yet. As Trem sets the fastest lap, as he was at the back of the grid, a 1:17.8. Quali was a 1:13 in the intermediate conditions?
I do believe.
So they are looking fairly quick on track in those wets. Nitro keeping it nice and tidy through there. A little bit of a snap, but he's okay. Let's go back to Mikey, who is looking for a move on Sab. Down into turn 4, nothing doing. A little bit of a mistake from Charles John. Sab will be looking to capitalise on that one, as he is just on the rear of him. A little bit of a train forming at the back here, as there are a few temps behind each other. But we'll keep on board with this one for now. Sab, Mikey and Jack all within a few tenths, within a second of each other. Another little bit of a twitch from Charles John, and Sab will definitely be looking for this move, as he feels like he is going to be quicker than the car ahead. Let's keep an eye on them. He keeps a nice tighter line. He's very close to the back of Charles there. No contact made as Mikey picks up his first 3 seconds. But it does look like is that a spin on track for Atsu? No, he's just serving his VSC. His drive-through. Never mind. Sab looking for that move on Charles John. Just can't quite get ahead of him there. 4 attempts is the gap. He's going to have to keep an eye on his rear view mirrors, as we have another retirement. That is Tinus. He's in. I think he's in the pits, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, disaster at the back of the grid there for Tinus Optionally. He said he wasn't confident tonight, and unfortunately that's translated into his performance. You just got to believe in yourself. Mikey, a couple of attempts behind Jack, looking for a move, but in the wet conditions, it is very hard to make a move stick out here. Sab looking for the move as Charles goes a bit wide. He's struggling to keep the car under control there in the Mercedes, and Sab is going to be all over the back of him. He's gone a bit wide again. A little snap of oversteer, and that will let Sab past. As I talk about, oh, that's a big crash in the left wall from Charles Jones. We were on board with that. That is going to no doubt be a safety car, I think, there. That is a disaster for Charles. He just was wrestling the car for so long through those corners, and he picked that wall. Well, yeah, I'm sure he didn't pick it, but he had a hefty hit into it, and it looked like another driver went into the back of him, and that's going to be disaster for those two. Safety car that is a safety car, isn't it? Yeah, safety car number 1 of the evening. 1 VSC, 1 safety car so far.
So we hope for none. We said before the stream that there wouldn't be any, but you know our luck, don't you?
It does have to be said, we didn't account for the wet weather. How was that? A big, hefty crash and a drive-through for Sam Flan for speeding under the safety car. Desert of him, he must have not been paying attention. But that crash, it did look very heavy. Did you see it?
I saw it back on the stream. It didn't look great.
No, it was that left wall that... another drive-through for Sam Flan. I know that's just shown up twice. I hope that's not a second. But that wall on the left, he hit it with some mighty force. I would not want to be in that car there. Nitrogash is in the pits. Interesting decision from him. I think... I don't know about you, but I think I'd be staying out just now and not pitting.
If you pit now, you got to pit again.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm guessing he's going to go for the inters here, as I can't quite see the tyres he's put on. Yeah, inters are on. It's a brave move, but like you said, a few are in. Quite a few are actually coming into the pits. One of the Aston Martins has came in. Both the Mercs. Well, one of the Mercs has stayed out. Obviously, one just crashed. We've got one of the McLarens in for some intermediate tyres. Sam Flan with that drive-through. I hope he's just choosing to put on the inters and he's not trying to serve that drive-through just yet. Do you think it looks dry enough for the inters?
I don't think so. I don't think it will dry up enough. I think you'd be looking at inters maybe if the track's going to dry, maybe 9-10 laps, but I just don't think it will, to be honest. I can't see this track drying up anytime soon. No,
it's still looking like it's coming. It's not quite as heavy as it was, but there's just so much water on the track at the moment. I'm not too sure that's the right call, and with everyone battling around each other, I just think you're better off staying out on those wet tyres and waiting for the track to dry up and then going straight to the mediums. But we will see. Nitrogash will be poised in P5 to make opportunity out of those intermediate tyres if the track allows it. We did see Bruce, as some of them are going into the pits now to put on the intermediate tyres. Daryl's pitting from the lead. But no, hang on, sorry, not Daryl. The time and time messes up as they go into the pits. That's my bad. Bruce Lee in the Aston has pitted and Office Red from P3. So 2 drivers staying out of the front. Nitrogash close behind, and then Surspad on those wet tyres. He's going for track position, which I don't think is a bad shout after how far behind he was.
While we were waiting for the restart, I've got one question about Drive to Survive.
Go ahead.
You know the team meeting?
Yeah, yes.
Do you know what Gunther said after Toto's anger when they left?
I didn't hear, I don't think. No, what did he say?
He goes, "Let's get to porpoising."
Hey, oh God. Toto went off on one, didn't he? God.
Yeah, that was...
It was a hard watch, I thought.
Yeah. But the thing is, the Mercedes car was so ahead of everyone for years.
It was, yeah. I think some pent-up frustration after he was falling down the field. I think is the real truth behind that message.
Yeah.
But we are all eyes on tonight, the intermediates. I think there's some race engineers that know a little bit more than we do in their comms box, because I think there's just too many people on the inters for it not to be the optimal tyre at the moment, unless there's a lot of gambling going on. Sometimes one person pitting can set off a chain of others. Nitrogash swerving a little bit there. I thought he was going to go in the pits again for a second. We do, of course, have Sam Flan in P14, who is currently carrying a drive-through, and I hope Mikey... Let's have a look, actually. I think he's just on 3 seconds for now. Yeah, 3 seconds. I don't know if you saw on screen, but it popped up the drive-through penalty for Sam Flan twice. I'm just going to have a look now, see if he... Yeah, 2 penalties. It does say that. Lap 6, he picked up 2 penalties. That is when the safety car came out. And he pitted twice for some reason for inters. I'm assuming he may have thought he could serve that drive-through, but he could not. I have a bit of an issue here. I can't get off the race director. Oh dear. Any idea here?
I can't hear.
I'm stuck in.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Oh no. I'm on it as well.
I'm stuck in the race director view here, and I can't even leave the session. This is not ideal. Oh dear, disaster.
We might be a bit screwed here.
Yeah. Oh dear, this is not ideal. Sorry about this, guys. I had no idea this was going to happen. I'm gonna have to restart my game, I think. Oh, this is not ideal. Stuck in the race director. Why would it do this? Let me try and get out by accepting an invite. Right, I'm gonna have to restart my game. This might drop the stream. I don't know. I've never restarted a game whilst I'm live. It would just be a second, guys.